It's something new. It's something all the Indian students are going through because we're not so fond of this
Yeah,
weather, particularly South Indian students. For us, it's winter.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 12 degrees or like 13 is like it's like least.
Okay, okay, okay,
Minus is something that we never expected, but yeah, we're coping up with it.
okay, okay, okay. So what's the time now there?
Well, it's 8:57. It's like around 9.
Okay, okay. So I think our technical team, let me check with them if they are available, and if we are all ready, we can start. Okay.
Absolutely. Sure,
Would
sure.
I'll be giving introduction initially, then
Okay, sure.
you can start. So
Yeah,
ideally, how
sure.
expecting?
I guess half an hour would go good, and questions probably 5-10 minutes, depend upon the students and everything. Yeah, that works.
So in this call, our associate dean, Mr. Suresh sir, also will be there.
Absolutely.
So sir will be helping because students will be joining in YouTube, and
Okay.
sir will be reading out those questions, and he'll be helping you to tell the what all the questions are coming. Okay,
Sure,
so
sure,
so
sure,
Suresh,
sure.
call now. Hello, Suresh, Suresh garu, Chari garu. Yeah, welcome, Suresh garu.
Good afternoon, sir. Sorry for the delay, sir.
No problem, no problem, no problem. You're on time now, exactly 2:30.
Thank you, sir.
I think Chari sir will help us that whether it is going on live at what time. Like, is it live now or it's take time?
It's live now, sir.
Oh, it's live. Okay,
Yes.
fine. So first of all, Mr. Sumant, actually, Suresh sir is associate dean TNP. Recently joined this year in the TNP cell. We are building the team to cater the students' needs in terms of the career. So sir is also very much experienced in having supporting students in developing their career. So Suresh Yaru, Sumant Pagadala was a very good student, passed out student, and he was very active, and he has been helping other students also along with him. He has done so many internships, and he grabbed the placement with the 11 lakh package. In fact, he has got a internship, and then he had a job, and he had so many jobs in hand, but he left his job, and then he has of doing MS program, and he went now, and he's very much helpful to the students and his peers and the college also wherever there is a event and there are activities are there. So he also always he's very active guy. So now I feel it's all of us to have Sumant Pagadala in the call from UK to enlighten our students in terms of the um higher education opportunities or career opportunities in the abroad, and how we can prepare for the going for abroad and doing MS in program, and what is his journey, what role he's learning. I think he would like to take 20 minutes time to share his thoughts, and then followed by the question and answers. And the question and answers, I think Suresh sir will help you. Suresh sir will help Pagadala for reading out and telling these are all the questions and all. So
Sure.
on track, Suresh, are we all ready?
Yes, sir. Everything is right. Hi,
Yeah.
Sumant.
Hello, Suresh. Nice to meet you.
It's
Okay, so over to you, Sumant Garu. Please take over and share your thoughts on career opportunities and the abroad studies related thoughts and helpful preparation, how you have prepared for your MS program, how you landed there, and how it would be good like to students to prepare for the higher education or the career. Whatever thoughts that you have, you please just share. Go ahead. Thank you. The whole platform is yours.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a very pleasure for me to, give this presentation to all my juniors. So, the first most important thing, the reason why I choose this topic is because a lot of students are really aspiring to pursue their masters in foreign and in very different countries like US or UK or Canada. But something that really makes me worry is that a lot of students are not completely sure of what they are doing. Sometimes they just take this decision because they feel that their relatives or their friends are started joining there and they're making money out of it. So this session is particularly for students to make sure that they know what they are doing and what path they are moving through. So let me just share my screen. Yep. Okay. So, first of all, hello everyone, whoever joined or whoever watching this as a video, not live. My name is Suman Pagadala. I studied in KG Reddy in CSE department. I completed my engineering in 2023 July, and now I joined Royal Holloway University of London. I'm pursuing my master's over here in AI, artificial intelligence. So this session is going to be on the topic, a guide to begin your master's in foreign countries. Sir, I hope my screen is visible to everybody.
yes, it is visible.
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
perfect. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to talk about today. So the first most important question is, why do you want to do it? And the next one is, why are you choosing this particular domain? And thereby we discuss about the country, the university, the financials, and at the end, what things that you must do as an international student in order to get the best out of everything. So the first one, so why do you want to go? So there might be a number of reasons, but it's very important to make sure that you answer this specific question because, oh, I'm so sorry. The screen share stopped. Did the screen share stop? Okay, no, fine. Okay. So if these reasons that you see right now on the screen, which is fame, family, and family pressure and relationship, if these are the three main things that's driving you to pursue your masters in a foreign country, then trust me, it's going to be a very big red flag, because pursuing your masters for any of these three things is not something masters meant for. When you come to an international college, when you come out of India, the most important thing that you need to do is to understand the job culture, is to understand the environment, is to understand what you're studying. Focusing on these three things and entering into a university will make your life very miserable, and it might not always go the way you are planning it to go. So the reasons, something like a specific goal that you're planning to, or gaining knowledge, or having a good amount of money, if these three are your main reasons or your topmost priority reasons, then I would say you're on the right path. When I was pursuing my undergraduation, when I was in my fourth year, as Dean sir said, I had two options. Either I can go to a company that's offering me a very good package, or I'm so sorry, or I had an opportunity to get into a master's. So when I did the calculation, when I did the math, I realized that the knowledge that I gained back in undergraduation, no matter which college it was not ready for me in order to get a very personalized job. For example, becoming a data engineer, becoming a machine learning engineer. It was not so easy for me to directly enter in, because first I need to work as a software engineer, then I need to jump as a data engineer, then I need to jump as a machine learning engineer, and that's when I can become a data scientist, or I can become a NLP, natural language processing engineer. So it's a very big task. A lot of experience. You need a lot of experience, you need a lot of knowledge, and you need to keep on jumping into companies in order to reach your goal. So for me, I felt that pursuing my masters will really help me to gain good amount of knowledge, at least to start with the level of data scientist. And it's always important, not only for me, for everybody, that if you are very focused either on getting a huge amount of money or either standing top in any MNC company, it's very important that you make sure that you have good amount of knowledge in whatever you're doing. So so just figure out yourself why you want to do masters. What's the main reason that's driving you in order to pursue your masters? The second one is, how do you choose a domain? Now, when I say domain, it's nothing but what kind of stream that you want to choose. When you're in undergrad, before undergrad, when you're in your intermediate, we're not completely sure. It might be your parents' suggestions, or it might be your faculty suggestions to either choose the CSE stream or the ECE stream, and so on. And at that time, I'm sure it might not be in your hand to take the decision, but now you are in your undergraduate. So, but when you're choosing masters, this is something that's completely in your hand, where you need to sit and decide what you want to do. So, first one is always the best one, which is the BTech course. Always give the highest preference to the course that you did in your undergraduate. For example, if you did CSE, then try to do your masters in CSE. If you did ECE, try to do it in ACE. Mechanical. So that's something I suggest, because you don't feel anything new when you enter masters, because the whole term of masters is that you specialize into something very deep and you understand the roots of the subject. But not having a specific base knowledge of a subject and then trying to enter into the roots might be a very difficult part, and I see students over here who are struggling with that. But again, if you are a EC student and you have a huge amount of enthusiasm and interest to enter into a CSE domain or AI domain or cybersecurity domain, then these are the specific things that you need. First, if, for example, if you're an EC student and if you are in your second year or third year, and if you want to do your master's in computer science or AI, it's very good that you are planning to do something out of your field, and it's very good that you found out what your interest is. But make sure that you must have some specific work that has been done on that industry. For example, making a basic NLP model, making a summarization model, making a machine learning model, and putting it in your resume, putting it in your GitHub, will really prove that not only enthusiasm, but you did something that proves you that you are capable of entering into the masters. So the next one is research contribution. So I know students who are in fourth year or third year right now, your faculties might be behind you to start writing research papers, start publishing research papers. And and genuinely, I would say that having a research paper under any subject, either it might be a new application or either it might be a review paper, it always helps your resume, and that's something that makes you stand out. Because having a research paper in your undergraduate will prove that you're not only a person who just makes projects and push it into GitHub, but you are somebody who tries to understand the theoretical concept. So make sure you have good amount of projects, make sure you at least have one research paper on the domain that you're planning to, and make sure you have a strong SOP is called a statement of purpose. So I'll talk about SOP in the further slides, but SOP is something called a statement of purpose that states why you as a person would like to join this domain and what makes you eligible to get this. So these are the basic things that you must put in your mind when you're choosing a domain. And so this is like the technical side. So if you are a student, for example, a lot of CSE students are done with their life coding for all the undergraduate, and they choose to become they need to get into MBA or some other degree. So even that, I suggest you figure out what you really want to do in your masters, and according to that, you have certain exams that you need to take, which are like language based test and reasoning skills based test. Those are, when it comes to language based tests, there are IELTS, Duolingo, TOEFL. I'm sure a lot of you people might have heard about it. So these are language assisting subject, I mean exams. I gave IELTS. So it depends on university, country to country, on which test they prefer. Right now in 2023, a lot of people prefer IELTS, and few universities prefer Duolingo. I'm not completely sure about TOEFL. And coming to the reasoning, we have GRE and GMAT. So students who are preferring to enter into a tech stream, masters in STEM program, then it's better for them to take the GRE, graduate record examination. And students who are planning to get into the management roles or manage doing their pursuing their masters in management, then GMAT will be a great option for them. So these are the basic exams that you need to know what they are, and you need to be ready with them. For example, if you are in 3-1, then it's a very right time for you to get your passport done and get start working on your exams, and give your exams by the end of 3-2, so that by from like starting to 4-1, you can start applying to universities and you will be on the right track. I hope I'm not going too fast. If there are any questions, you can just post in the chat place. And third one, how to choose a country. So this is a very major question to a lot of students, on whether we need to choose US or UK or Canada or any other country. So there are certain criterias that you must know about that country before you plan your masters over there. And here they are. So the first one is domain. So every country has its own specific domain. For example, India is very good with electrics and electronics. US is very good with technical. UK is thriving very seriously when it comes to AI and cybersecurity. Canada, I'm not sure what Canada is with. So yeah, every country has its own specific domain in which they have good job market, in which they have good salaries and so on. So according to your domain, according to your interest, you must find out which country is the most suitable one. It's not always that you must select only one country, but you can have a list, priority wise. The next important thing is the economy of the country. See, the moment you land into a specific country, for example, UK, starting from the groceries that you buy, ending to the tax that you pay, some or the other way, the economy will affect you as an international student or a person who is working over there. So always keep an eye on the economy of the country, like how good it is or how bad it is, how the inflation is affecting the country, how inflation is affecting a common man in the country. That will really give you a good insights. And yeah, that's one thing. And the next one is universities. So every country, universities have a unique and specific way of teaching. For example, if you see in US, it's like 2 years of master's degree where it's completely based on research domain. And it's very interesting. A lot of students, even our batch students, are doing their masters in US, and they really like it. It's like 2 years master's degree. And uh, sorry, did somebody? Okay, fine. So when it comes to UK, it's like 1 year master's degree, and there is something called as placement assistant. So this is something you don't see in other countries, and this is something that made me choose UK, because most of the universities have something called as placement year, or they also call it as sandwich. So apart from 1 year masters, you do 2 years masters, where 1 year will be, taught based or research based, and the next year will be a placement year where you get a company, you join the company, you work for 1 year. In place of project, you do placement, and that's how you end your degree. So by the end of the degree, you'll complete your masters, and you'll be having a job in your hand. So that's something very safe, which I felt, and that's the reason why I chose UK. And also, there are other factors which you must be very careful about when you choose a country. They are weather, culture, cost of living, and the currency value. So weather is very much important. It does come under the top priority because a lot of people are not completely okay with the cold climate, and not everybody are okay with the hot climate and so on. So you must make sure about all these things that I mentioned down there. So coming to fourth one, how to choose a university. So okay, if you understand, we are coming from a very broad way, like we are narrowing it down. So first we go to the domain, then we go to the country, then now we are planning to how to choose a university. So just like choosing a country, there are specific criteria that as a student you must follow when it comes to choosing a university. So here are the points. First one is course content. So let's say you selected UK and then you figured out 20 to 30 universities, and now you're planning to figure out which universities to select. So the first most important thing that you need to do is go to each website of the university, and in that you have a specific thing that's called as course content or course structure, in which they explain all the subjects, all the course outcomes of what they are going to teach, and thereby you can align your interest. Let me give you a very quick example. um, so uh, so this is Royal Holloway's artificial intelligence MSc web page. I hope my screen is visible. So if you come down, you can find this place that's called as the course structure. And under course structure, you see the core modules, which are data analysis, computation with data, artificial intelligence, and so on. And we also have optional modules. So for me personally, according to my interest, I felt that this course structure is very interesting and something that aligns to my domain. And hence I choose this university. So in this way, you're supposed to go through each and every single website, go through their content page, and find out whether the course structure matches you or not. So that's, I know I'm lagging it. The next one comes with the ranking. So there are two ways of ranking when you talk about universities. There is world ranking and there is national ranking. World ranking, the most famous one is QS ranking, and national ranking, every country has its own way of ranking. So when it comes to QS ranking, make sure that you are entering into a university that's at least above 400, or I'm sorry, below 400. It must be within like 1 to 400 range. And when it comes to national, make sure that it ranges from 1 to 60. So the reason why I'm telling this is, the better the university that you are in, the better the chances that you get a job quickly, or whatever you're trying to do. Because a lot of students do this mistake that just in the namesake of entering into a country, they don't get the, like, they get into a university that has 1,000 rank and 1,100 rank, and once they complete their masters, it will be very hard for them to get a job, because the competition is very high. No matter which country it is, no matter which state it is, the competition is very high, and you must make sure that you must stand in the best of the best place. Then comes location, obviously. Whichever university you are choosing, make sure that nearby there is some industrial place where you can go for events and where you can connect with people, so that you can understand how the job market is going on. Then comes socialization. Let's say you selected from the 30 universities, you selected like 5 universities, and those 5 universities, you just search the university name in LinkedIn, and you'll find students who are studying over there. And if you have any doubts about those universities, you can just text them, hey, I just want to know about this university. And not everybody, but most of the people will really help you and let you know clear your queries. Coming to fifth one, figuring out your financials. I'll just make it quick because there are three main things. First one is self-funded. If you have enough money to fund your masters, then that's amazing. Good, that's a good way. The second one is collateral loan. Collateral loan is something where you put property, land or flat or something as a surety, and you get the loan. Third one, the one which I took, which is non-collateral loan. So when you take a non-collateral loan, it's very, it's like, I wouldn't say it's too complicated, but I would say there must be a person who must put surety for you. It might be your father, it might be your mother, it might be your brother, or it might be anybody, but they must act as a surety for you. So when I took this loan, I kept my father as my surety. I paid nearly 25 to 30,000 for the processing fee and the insurance, and then I got my loan, and I'll be clearing it. It makes me comfortable that I'm not putting any burden on my parents, or there is no property of ours which is under the loan. So that's the reason why I choose non-collateral loan. Coming, so till now we spoke about the criterias what a country or a university must have. Now we'll be discussing what qualities that you must have, in order to get into a top university, because that's the end goal. Getting into any university is different when it comes to getting into a top university. So the first important thing is getting a unique profile. When you're applying for a university in a foreign university, it's not only you, but 1,000 students from 1,000 different countries are applying. So it's always important that you must always have your unique profile, unique abilities, unique skills. So how do you do that? It's very simple. No matter which domain you are, either ECE or CSE or whatever it is, the masters that you are planning, make sure you have good projects on them. Make sure you did some research and publications on it, because that will really make you stand out with the other applications. Next one is, I know when I was back in undergrad, I didn't focus much on this, and neither I told my friends that this might not matter. But academics, having a good grade, really, really matters for the universities over here, because that's how people can really know whether you're dedicated or skilled, or whatsoever. So at the end of the day, yeah, papers matter. Then something that I discussed earlier, which is statement of purpose. So statement of purpose is something that states the reason why you want to join the university. And and trust me, every university reads every single SOP. They go through your SOP, they understand what your skills are, why you are applying. So you must be headstrong and you must be very focused when you write your SOP, rather than making somebody else write it. Even if you're making, but just make sure that you put all your points in the right way, so that you get the best out of it. Then internships and jobs. For me, getting into this university, Royal Holloway University, being one of the top 20 university in UK, even though I didn't have that good grades, is because I hold two internships, I hold two job opportunities, and I did nearly 2 to 3 research publications. And these things really made me stand out, and that's what helped me to get into a topmost university. So at one point of time, even if your academics are down, if you're having a good research background, then it will really help you. And yeah, clearing your IELTS and GRE as soon as possible will really help you to start applying for universities, because once you clear this and once you start applying, even universities will start replying you as quick as possible. Finally, make sure you are having some extracurricular activities rather than just focusing on research. If anybody who is watching this after the live, I worked in road track, I worked in DSA, I worked in student chapter where I was president, IUCEE. So all of these things really helped me to show my leadership skills, to show my teamwork, to show that I'm not only a bookworm, but I also have socializing capabilities. And this really helps you when you put your SOP. So finally, these are the tips that I would give you. This is the conclusion part, just in case if anybody is getting bored by this point. So make sure you always have a backup. Not only one specific country, not only a cluster of specific universities, but make sure you always have a backup, always have a backup country, always have a backup universities, because we never know how external things might affect you. So just make sure you have a backup, and always keep an eye on the visa regulations, because these things keep changing term to term and year to year, and the regulations that are today might not be the same after 6 months. So make sure you understand the visa regulations. This will be explained by your consultancy, but again, always do your own research. Then, so in India, if you are in contact with few consultancies, these consultancies always conduct different seminars and webinars. They call universities worldwide, and you'll get a chance to directly interact with the management team of the university, and you'll know all the stats over there. So that's a very good place. That's where I came to know about Royal Holloway. So yeah, decide your goal as soon as possible. Decide the domain that you are planning to get into, and always make sure that you have right documentation, starting from your birth certificate ending to the very last transcript. Make sure that you're having every single document originals in a very perfect way, because I made a mess out of it, but luckily I cleared it. It might not happen with you the same, so make sure you have good document. So make sure once you get into a university, start trying to contact your professor, because the moment I got into Royal Holloway, the first thing I did was I went to the website, I found all the professors who was working there. I found professors who are of my same domain, and I mailed them. I told them that, hey, I'm working on this project and I would like to collaborate with you. I might have mailed nearly 6 to 7 professors, and 2 to 3 of them replied. And right now I'm working under a professor in a NLP and transformer based research, which really helped me to stand out from my classmates over here. So yeah, so these are the tips that I would give you. And coming to part times, full times, and so on, I'm sure these are something that you would figure out. But if you want to know, you can either mail me or you can either contact me through LinkedIn, because these things are very broad. We need more an hour or two to discuss all those. But I'm always available to talk about all this. And yeah, keep an eye on companies that are nearby your universities. How do they hire? Because the way how companies hire back in India, the first assessment and then the interview and then HR, not all companies follow the same procedure, because here a few things are very different. So I would suggest always keep an eye on how the hiring process goes on different companies within your country or within your region that you choose. And this is the roadmap, like combining all the slides that I gave you. This is the final roadmap that I would like to present you. Decide your domain, choose your country. Under the country, choose all the universities that you're planning to. Once you choose your university, understand what requirements they have, either IELTS or either GRE or either your academics or either extracurricular, whatever the requirements are. According to those requirements, complete your tests. Make sure you have at least 7 to 7.5 band in IELTS. Make sure you clear your GRE. Again, GRE is something that not all universities or all countries might ask, because for me, US, GRE is not required. IELTS is good to go. So just make sure about that. Just don't waste your money, because GRE is also around 15,000, 16,000 rupees. So yeah, just make sure about it. And once you clear your test, apply for universities. And once you get acceptance, contact your professors and try to get part time within your university rather than finding a cave or some other place. So with this, I hope I gave as much as knowledge as I can, apart from what consultancy people would give you. And with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you everyone for your time, or whoever is in live right now, whoever is watching it later. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Uh, Hi, Mr. Suman. This is Suresh here.
Hi.
Uh, Actually, there is a question in the chat box regarding the preparation for the language proficiency exams,
Okay.
which is required for the almost all the universities abroad.
Yeah.
So they are looking for some tips.
Okay. So supposing that if you are a student who is in starting from second year to 4-1, the best thing is figure out whether you want to do IELTS or Duolingo, because Duolingo is also an exam that few universities prefer. But if you are preferring IELTS, the tips that I would give you is find a mentor. Now, either you can talk to your academic dean, Daniel sir. Uh, he can surely help you. Like if you have a cluster of students, like if there are 20 or 30 students combined together, and you can talk to sir and he can arrange you IELTS program where you can join and clear it. But if you're studying on your own, I would say there are few YouTubers who really helped me. Take 1 month completely for IELTS, like one whole month, and divide it into 4 parts: week one, week two, week three, week four. It goes as speaking first week, reading, writing, and listening. So divide your 1 month, dedicate your whole 1 month to all these modules, and at the end of 1 month, there are a lot of tests, online tests that you can give. Keep practicing and keep applying. So this is what I did. For me, I couldn't do it in within 1 month because I was also doing my internship and other research work. But if it that case, you take it for 2 months. Every day, just put 2 hours straight, no matter how good your English might be. Don't be overconfident. That's what I did. Be Give 2 hours every single day. I would say start with listening because that's little easy for you. After listening, shift to reading. After listening and reading, shift to speaking. Once speaking is done, shift to writing. So online, you have a lot of tutors who are paid and who are for free. You can find the best person for your liking. But yeah, this is the basic thing. It's not rocket science. It's the basic English that we learned in our 10th and ninth class. It's just, you'll feel very conscious because the whole test is about your language. If it's an interview, people will focus on the knowledge that you have than other than language. But because it's a language assisting system test, people will focus more on your language only. So that will make you feel panic. So and you will come out of that panicness only if you keep on practicing. So that's all I suggest.
Yeah. Uh, Actually, students are in some dilemma, those who are aspiring for their education, whether to go
Mhm.
for education after doing a job for some time or immediately after the graduation. So, what would you suggest?
Okay, this can be in two ways. So, first thing, students who are planning to do job and then going to masters, it has both pros and cons. The pro is having a 1 year or 2 years of job experience will always help you in order to pursue your masters. Because for me, I did 1 year of internship, which was more or less considered as a job. Thanks to Daniel sir for the permissions and everything. So it's like it really gave me exposure, and that helped me within my SOP when I was applying. But when it comes to people, particularly students, the moment they start earning for 1 year and 1.5 year, it's very, very difficult for them to come back into the study zone. I've seen our seniors, my seniors, who had this headstrong decision that they will do masters after 1 year job or 2 years job, and they couldn't do it because the moment you enter into the job, a lot of unknown strings will start getting attached to you. So if you feel that there might not be any as such, then yeah, go ahead with job. It's really a great opportunity for you. And if you are a student who would directly get into masters like me, the reason I, even though I had a job, I went into the masters is because first thing, I had a good university in my hand. Second thing, I don't want to have a knowledge gap in here. Till fourth year, I did huge research when it comes to natural language processing and transformer, and I wanted it to continue. I didn't want it to take a gap. So both ways, both of us has its pros and cons. And if you are sure as a student that yes, I will get a job once I complete my fourth year, so I don't want to worry. Yeah, go ahead. I would suggest you to work for 1 year, and within this 1 year, complete clear your IELTS and GRE, and at the end of the year, get into masters. Don't proceed it more than 1 year because once a year is done, it's very difficult to pull yourself back into the study zone. And for students who are planning to directly enter into the masters, it will be a little bit difficult for you because you don't know the world outside over here, but you'll cope up with it.
Uh, this is about planning phase for the students. So, what is the right time to plan for higher education? I mean, in which year or which semester?
Okay, so I would say starting from first year, it's very important. If whoever is watching this, let me tell this to you. If you're in first year, from first year to second year, completely focus on your knowledge. From since first year, decide your domain, start working on your projects, start working on resumes. By second year ending, create a portfolio in such a way that you can get a job, because that's how I did. Till second year, I worked on so many projects, I worked with so many hackathons, and in my 3-1 I got into triple IT as an intern, as a research intern. I worked for 3 months and I'm still in contact with the professor. So if you are in first year, you just started your career, and and you're in the right path. Just make sure you shouldn't get diverted with other things. And if you are in third year, then get your CV done, get your profile in a very good way. Because if you didn't do any work previously in your first year or second year, now it might be difficult for you. You need to split your day into two halves. The first half, college, obviously. The second half, you need to focus on your projects, building your resume, and you need to focus on your tests, IELTS or GRE. So if you are in 3-1, if that's what going on, I guess 3-1 is about to end. You're going to enter into 3-2. So make sure you split your day into half and you give time for this. And it will be a little bit difficult for you, but you must focus on both of these equally. You must focus on your resume, you can focus on your exams. And you can ask me a question that, it's not always that you must have a good resume. There are students who enter into universities. Yes, they do. But entering into the best university is important when compared to entering into any university. And for fourth years who are right now, who are about to end their 4-1, and if you didn't take your IELTS exam, then I would say do not risk it. It's fine. Complete your fourth year. Within this 4-4-2, do your IELTS, do your GRE, and try for the Jan intake. Because if you sit and if you focus on getting into September intake only, then it will be a very hectic pressure for you. And by now, most of the universities will also be closed for the next intake. So this is what I suggest for all the year students.
Nice. And one more question is about academic percentage, the role of academic percentage. The candidates who are having backlogs but seriously aspiring for the higher education abroad. So,
Okay.
yes. So
Okay. 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 So let me just tell this to you. A lot of juniors. No, there are times even I had many backlogs. For every alternate semester, I have at least 1 to 2 backlogs. Just make sure that by the end of 4-2, at any cost, by the end of 4-2, clear all the backlogs, all the backlogs. So because more the transcripts you have, lesser the chances of you getting into a top university. Because you know uh, here over in UK or US, specifically in UK, students are a very prestigious standards for university. So they focus on students having good academic percentage and so on. So I would say, if you want to get into top 10 universities, have a percentage that you know starts around 85%, 85 to 90 in middle. So if you are getting into top 20, which is my university, you can have it around 70% to 85%. I got into top 20 even though I had literally 65% is because of the academic research that I did. It's because of the internships I did. So these were the things that did. So if you are students who feel that, bro, I do have backlogs and I'm not having a good percentage, but I have a lot of domain knowledge and I have the things, then put everything in the right way. At this stage, if you are in your third year or second year, you might have done a lot of things, but they are very clumsy for you. You need to put everything in the right path, and that's the reason why I tell you to make your CV or make your resume in the right way, so that you understand what things you did and what things you need to do in order to cover up this less percentage. That's what I suggest.
yeah. Thank you, Sumant.
Yeah. So I hope that's the question. And thank you so much for the placement team for giving me this chance to, be there and present this.
Yeah. Over to Daniel, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sumant. Actually, I'm asking Suresh sir, is there any questions from students? But Suresh sir mentioned that Sumant is covering everything. There are no questions at all.
That's
So
fine. That's
you have
completely
explained,
fine.
and thank you so much for the time that you have taken to prepare the slides, and you have covered up each and every point. I think this is really very good eye opener for the students, those who are aspiring for the abroad education. I feel, as you said, you're also I think you know some juniors, and they can also write to you, and that's really appreciable that you have given invitation to the students, even if they wanted to get connected, and guidance you have given that access to the students. That's very really wonderful, so nice of you. And I'm so thankful to you for your time and the for your preparation, and you have given your time for the presentation. And students, I feel students got very good insights about the agenda of the meeting. So
Yeah.
I'm again, thank you so much. Thank you, Suresh Garu. Thanks for the technical team, Chari Garu and all. And we keep organizing this kind of sessions monthly, one with the alumni. And this month is on the name of Suman Pagdala. And the
Yeah.
complete, it's really meaningful session. We'll hope we'll have this kind of sessions some more in future for the benefit of the students. Thank you so much, Sumant, again. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for
Thank
having me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Suresh. Bye.